Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Attack Productions. Today I bank RPG joined once again by Austin and Nick.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
And today's matchup is Austin versus Nick, as we have a Burnhon versus Gotenks. Austin has played Burnhon before. Nick, is this your first time playing Gotenks?
It is. Everyone got bullied out of playing it, so I figured I might give it a shot.
I mean, for the most part, that is kind of true. But hey, it's good to see you again. Like, sometimes it's good to bring old decks back, which was this entire past weekend. I feel like everyone brought something different and unique, and it was just pretty fun. But, like always, there's buttons up below. Feel free to click there for a reason. Let's get into this, guys.
So, Austin, what are you doing with your new deck?
Um, it's so before when I played in tourneys with Burnham in the past, I think it was before we were recording. Um, it was just I was just complete aggro. I want turn 3 kill. Like that's it. Done. Like it was super like smash your face and aggro. This one is still very aggressive, but I usually went on turn 4 and I can easily go to turn 5 or 6 if need be. It's more mid range. And just having that early aggression of the burst to take a life is so good. This deck obviously still loves going first because you always get that first hit in no matter what. But this deck here mostly still the Alliance, package. But I never played it with the Eradicator of Peace. So that's the kind of the main card in this deck. It replaces the Goku Piccolo I'd always used before because there's a better version all around. And the only gripe I have though was with Goku Piccolo, I could use the familial bonds to pick it up from the drop area, so I could always get it, and I can't do that with Eradicator of Peace.
Yeah, but the trade out I think
Yeah.
is better. Like, draw
Oh no,
two.
I agree. I just had more combo power too, because I would run to 5-star balls also. So I missed that small little package that I had in there myself, but I think
Well, and if
overall it's much
anything,
better.
yeah, and if anything, if all you're using is Familiar Bonds is just to grab that target, that just saves you deck space, right?
Well, yeah, but it was more of like, say if you run like assimilate, in this deck to find Piccolo Jr., it'd be the same thing as that.
True.
Which I thought about running to assimilates in this, but I didn't have any on me.
Yeah, and with Gotenks, I mean, it's kind of a standard list. I mean, Gotenks, I think, has just been a deck that's just been figured out for quite a while now. And me personally, I play more of a hand control style, so my build is more hand control-y than most. That's just because it's the way I run green decks generally. You use the Gotenks for the pressure, and then you use the hand control cards to keep their hand low while you go in at literally any point in the game because Gotenks are so cheap to play.
Yeah, I think you play kind of similar to mine. I didn't play the Zamasus in my build, but I always felt like turn 5, you can easily rip 9 cards. Like, and it's just ridiculous when you pull that off.
Oh yeah, it's insane. And just the combo with Zamasu, Frieza Charismatic Villain and Zamasu is just why would you not run it if you have the cards? I've always wanted to get Zamasu Deity's Wrath, but I just couldn't afford $60 to pay for one card. And then the Mythic Booster came out, and now they're pennies. So it's
Yep.
so I have it in the deck now. I don't think I played in this matchup, but in a couple of my games throughout the night, I got to play them, and they just work wonders for keeping the hand low. It's an amazing card.
And then
Remind me what makes drum. Is it drum right? Free play again.
so they take a life from a unison or battle card effect. It's a Piccolo Jr. Makes you take a life when he uses Alliance. You can play free play alliances with the Trunks, Helping Blast, and Videls in this deck. So you're always gonna have that Alliance target for free. It's very easy to get. I never once didn't have one, and the drum was just extra like to help kill unisons. I didn't really want to use it for like aggression. I could have, but when I had it, I have 3 of them in this. So I was like, I just need more like ways to get out and kill unisons early if they're a threat. Like I did that one. The
Yeah,
entire
and
time
hitting.
we were playing, I was debating like, do I go into do I take the bait? Do I go into it? He has charismatic villain. I have to. And he was like, oh, it's okay. I was like, what?
It happens. Sometimes you don't draw into it.
Yeah, yeah, it was unfortunate. I don't think I saw it until like my final turn, which is wild because I run 4 of them. But being able to clear that Vegito Unison is huge on the turn it's played, just because it racks the markers up and essentially becomes a lightning rod for most people's attacks because they don't want to get the -7 off. But being able to clear 5 markers in one turn is huge.
Yeah, it was nice because I still remembered. It was like muscle memory. This deck, I kind of remembered everything it did and what I wanted to do with it, and you used those. My brain will think for a second. Those aftermatch techniques very liberally because you just take your own life because you kind of don't care too much, and it just felt nice revisiting this deck that I was probably the first deck that I ever had fun with in Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah, even if I wanted to, I don't think I would be able to effectively hand control you. Because even at this point in the game, your hand was pretty sizable.
I think in this
All the
run I have
life,
13 cards.
yeah, like all the life you took, just went straight to your hand. And you were drawing pretty consistently, especially with the Piccolo Junior card. So it was gonna be tough, even if I wanted to go that route. So it almost wasn't worth it because it would just be an energy sink for absolutely nothing. I would be wasting my energy for you just to slap me in the face, essentially.
Yeah. And the and on my turn, um we saw the one Piccolo Junior burst from the first burst, but I have 2 more in my hand, so I saw all 4 Piccolo Juniors this game, and it was crazy.
I
It
will
was very
say, Nick, you playing Zamasu, sorry, not Zamasu, Zarbon. I'm not sure what was. I mean, it sounded like Austin was covered on his hand, on the potential battle cards, but to me, it kind of tells me one of two things: is that unless you're playing Shocking Death Ball, you didn't have really a negate option. Even when it comes to like dormant potential, if he would play another Piccolo, that would still pop the Piccolo on the counterattack, but you burn that energy. Just have a block on board that yes can rip one card from his hand if it's KO'd right.
Yeah.
Yep. If the hand is 5 or more, which in this whole game I don't think he had less than 5 cards at any point in the game. So it was going to be a live piece, and since like I said, I kind of want to keep the hand control in the back of my mind. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it or not, but since I run 4 rebrands, it's just a good target trade. I'll drop a rebrand so I can play as Arbon. I mean, why would anyone not take that trade?
So one thing I wanted to point out to Nick that I did there was that effect that I always forgot when I played this leader before. Once per turn, when you use Alliance, you KO a card 30k or less.
Which does give him more hand support this way, but it's still a good way of getting rid of a battle card.
Yeah, like I'd rather him have a couple extra cards than have that card in the field and him like boarding at like 50 of them or something, you know?
Yeah, I feel like whenever you're playing against the Gotenks against it, like you kind of just have to bite the bullet and get rid of them. I mean, granted they get their pieces back, but yeah, like Austin said, it's better to have it off the board and then have at most 10k combo power than to keep that dual attacker on field.
Yeah, because if you're worried about it, and like next turn they could sub the combo pieces again for another one, so you have 2 to deal with instead of just the 1. You know, so it doesn't matter if they have the pieces in their hand for fusion for an extra couple combo power if you can get rid of a threat on the board.
And one thing I will say too is I don't think I see Goku at all, or if I do, it's really late. Like that's like the number one thing that you mulligan for in the game, or at least this deck. And I didn't see it at all, so it kind of hurt my early plays. But at this point in the game, it didn't really matter because since I do have a lot of draw with the Gotenks engine itself, I was able to see pieces pretty consistently. But that's what I like about the deck. I mean, you're able to see everything pretty much whenever you need it, which is nice.
And using that Trunks diffusion piece allows you to is it top 7? It's been a while.
Yeah, top 7 for a unison.
Which looks like you saw it very quickly. You're like, I'm just shuffle now.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, there's almost no reason to put it back on board unless I wanted to make dormants free. But because at this point, it's pretty late. We're at turn 4. I don't have any, I would technically have no markers on my Unison. I charged my Frieza Charismatic Villain, so at this point it was just might as well just thin the deck out a little bit, so get a piece out of there.
And I was curious what super combos you went with, either the idea of hand control or just giving you more resources.
Yeah, I think it would be more beneficial to run the Bionic Blitzes, the Android 18s, because they're live at any point in the game. At this, I was just experimenting. I wanted to draw twos, so I'm running 3 Paragus, 1 Great Saiyaman, just because I only have so many Paraguses. I don't have enough to run 2 playsets because there's another deck out in the ether that's being borrowed by me. So
And
I don't have all my pieces.
I think in this particular matchup, that super combo is far more beneficial for you, anyways, because having the units on the board while you're in infusion is an extra draw just naturally, which is great.
Yeah.
But because it was taken care of so quickly, you lost that advantage of getting that extra draw support.
Yeah, and that did hurt quite a bit because I fused I think 3 times at this point in the game, so that'd have been 3 extra cards that I could have saw. It could have been a secret rare, it could have been an extra negate, it could have been anything, but it was very smart to take it off early on.
What were you looking for, by the way, when you asked for my drop area?
I was looking for negates.
Oh.
I was wanting to see because I know you're a very defensive player by nature, and I was powering through most of them already. And I was like, at this point, I was taking quite a bit of time. I was like, do I take the gamble of just going for game right now? Because you're at 2 life. I only have 1 more swing with the dual attacker, but I do have the 5 cost evolved Gotenks that makes it a double striker. So I was debating whether or not if I wanted to just defend myself and see if I can survive another turn or just go for it. Because I feel like with the hand that you had and the way that you're able to just put cards on the field for free, I don't think I was able to survive either way. So I figured I might as well just go for it and see if you have the other negate. And as we can see here in about 2 seconds, you do.
Which, I mean, depending on the hands, which I assume both of you guys have a decent hand at this point. Austin may have more cards than you. Do you go the all out? I mean, it's a 40k, it's plus 40k, or do you try to save it for a more defensive push? Defense, okay.
Well, he already negged the initial Gotenks
Wolfgang
from
Fist
I think
is
it
only
from
for the
Wolfgang Fist.
battle.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was still minus 10,
Yeah.
so it was.
Was it 20k
It was
then?
5k.
Yeah.
It's a 15k double strike, right?
No, it's
No,
not
it's a
15.
30. I think it's a 30k.
Okay, I don't know why I thought 15.
But I don't think I would. I probably would have been able to get to like 40 inherently.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would able if I comboed my whole man out. I mean, I don't think it would have changed anything because as you can see in Austin's turn coming up, like you're able to pop off like ridiculously crazy, and it's pretty awesome to see.
I mean, that's what red green does naturally, though. You give it the opportunity to combo a card and attack, and it could just vomit cards to the board.
Hadn't played the Gogeta in a long time. I was thinking of Champa Beerus, and I thought that card was like not. I didn't think it was 30k or anything. I thought it was pretty low. I was like, oh yeah, I'll pop it too. He's like, it's not 4 costs. I was like, what? Oh yeah, wrong card. And as you can see, we're gonna add that Nappa 2 to the board, and then my favorite effect this deck has is you discard 3 cards, and then all of your red and blue battle cards and your leader card get plus 10k. And so here we do the 4th Piccolo Jr. we've seen the game.
Which having Acrobatic Warrior allows you just to hit a damage regardless on the swing.
Yep. And then I board Trunks, and then board another Trunks.
Can you board 2 Trunkses?
It's not once per turn. It's not unique. Yep.
I
And
said the
then
same
discarded
thing.
3 cards to give everything plus 10k. My favorite part about this deck back in the day was, the Trunks and Videls are blockers, so people would be like, like, okay, well, it's a blocker, okay, swing 15k. What? Yeah, I'm swinging my blocker. But yeah, he took his own life to end the game there.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah, I don't blame
Honorable
him.
way to go.
I would do the same thing.
But yeah, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed today's matchup. Keep in mind, there's buttons down below and on the screen. And with that being said, thank you all for tuning in, and fluff out.